So I recently did a video about practical and useful iPhone features. Many of you watched that one. I really appreciate the views on that, but you also asked me for more of those. So here you go, quick and practical iPhone features that you will actually use, part 2. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Dan Fox and I've spent over 30 years professionally helping people with technology. Hopefully today I can help you too. Let's jump straight into those iPhone features. Now, in my last video, I talked about how when you go to any screen on your iPhone where you can see the icons, if you swipe down from the middle of the screen, you can start typing in the app you're looking for and jump straight to it right there. But you can also type in a calculation. So if you just want to do some quick math, don't want to open the calculator, just type it in right here. There's your answer right there. If you want to go deeper and maybe crunch the numbers some more, you can just click on the answer and it will open the calculator app. Very quick, very simple, very useful. Now, I don't want to make this a running theme, but as I get older, I really do find myself using this feature much more often. But did you know that your iPhone has a built-in sort of magnifying glass? Yes, there's an app called Magnifier, and I use it all the time. Let's use that same trick where you swipe down from the center of the screen, start typing in magnify. There's the magnifier app. Let's open it. And it's really simple. Once you get into the app here, you can just slide this to the right to zoom in, to the left to zoom out. Depending on which iPhone you have, you'll get different zoom levels, but I use this all the time for things like tiny print on electronics or a menu that I can't see that well in like a restaurant, or this is going to make me sound even older, the side of a medicine bottle. But it works really well. It's quick and simple. There's some other features in here too that I never use where you can change like the contrast, you can turn on the flashlight, I suppose. Anyway, very cool. Very simple, very easy to use. That's the magnifier. So have you ever been reading a long website or maybe a long document on your phone and then you have to scroll all the way back up to the top? Well, you don't actually have to scroll. You can just tap the top of your phone right about here and it will jump right back up to the top of that website or document. Every once in a while, it takes me a couple tries to get just the right spot, but it's so much faster than scrolling. And this works on pretty much every app on your iPhone. That's a pretty useful one. So most of us have a bunch of conversations going in the Messages app, and it's easy to forget which ones you need to reply to or to have to scroll all the way back through the whole stack to try to find a conversation you were having. Did you know that you can pin any of your messages to the top of the list and they'll stay on the top of the list until you unpin them? It's very cool. I think it's meant to be used as your favorites, but I also use it to sort of help remind me of people I need to either respond back to or something I wanted to look into that they had messaged me about. So here's how you do it. So you see, when I open my messages here, I already have 7 people or conversations pinned to the top. You can only have 9 total. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top message here where I've been communicating with Matt, and I'm going to press and hold on it. A quick peek of the conversation pops up here, but down here is what we want. On this menu, we're going to pick Pin. The menu will close, and then Matt will be moved up into the Pinned section right here. To open any one of these pinned contacts or conversations, you just click on the circle. When you want to unpin one of the people from the section up here, you just hold down on the circle. That menu will pop up again. Select Unpin. That moves the conversation with that person back down into the stack where they were before. I mean, it's a small thing, but it helps to save time. And for me, it helps remind me to follow up on things. But real quick here, before we go any further, I'd like to get uncomfortably close to the camera. No, I'm just kidding. But I really would like to say, if this video is helping you at all, you're finding value in it, please consider giving it a like. Even more, consider subscribing to my channel for more practical tech tips. It really does help my channel also, and I genuinely do appreciate it. All right, let's get back into the tips. So these are some travel-friendly ones that I really like. Here's one I use almost every night when I'm traveling. I can't sleep in a completely silent room, but your iPhone has built-in background sounds like white noise sort of. Now the one I use is called Ocean, but you have many to choose from here, and here's how you do it. You're going to go into your iPhone's settings, and then you're going to scroll down until you see accessibility. When you see that, click here. Then you're going to scroll down until you see audio and visual. Select that. Then select background sounds on. Of course, mine are already on here. Once you select background sounds on, select on sound, and these are all the ones you have to choose from. I have Ocean selected, as I said. Now I like to make this a shortcut so I don't have to fiddle around trying to figure out how to turn it on when I want to use it, which is usually when I'm tired and traveling. So all you have to do is this: swipe down from the upper right hand corner on your phone, and this is the control center. You're going to press and hold any empty space here. Once you do this, you'll see this little minus sign in the upper left-hand corner of all these icons and this little symbol right here. But most importantly, at the bottom, you'll see where it says add a control. Just click that. Then the options for what control do you want to add will pop up. And I know this looks really busy and overwhelming, but all you have to do is just type a search up in the top. I'm going to type in background sounds, but you actually don't have to type it all in. As soon as you type background, it'll pop up right here. Just select it and boom, there's the shortcut to your background sounds. Now click outside in any of that empty space again and you're done. And now when you want to actually turn these background sounds on, all you have to do is swipe down from that upper right hand corner and click the button like this. So there you go. Really simple one, but if you can't sleep in dead silence like me, just stick your phone beside the bed, put it on the charger, let it run in your background sounds all night. So if you stick your phone to a MagSafe charger in this orientation when the phone is locked, it will automatically pull up this sort of alarm clock. So all you have to do is lock the phone first, put it on the MagSafe charger in this orientation, and there you go. What's also really cool about this is when the room gets dark, it will switch into sort of a night mode with this red light where it dims down the screen and turns red. You can still see it if you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to see what time it is, but it's not so bright that it's blinding when you're trying to sleep. Now there's some features in there too if you want to change the style of the clock or perhaps put a calendar beside it. I don't do any of that, but regardless, it's nice because every night, put it on the charger, it just works. And one more thing, if you're running those background sounds and you're using your phone as an alarm clock, it will still ring your alarm in the morning even if it's still playing those background sounds. So another one I really like to use when I'm traveling is low power mode. If you're not familiar, low power mode basically extends the life of your iPhone battery by about 20% by reducing some of the things that are running in the background. It does slow your phone down a little and reduce some of those animations when you're opening and closing apps in the phone's interface. But if you know you're going to be away from power for a while, you can turn it on to help your battery last longer. Super easy to set up. So all you have to do is go into your settings, select on battery, which is right here. And when this next page loads, it takes a second for the whole page to load. There we go. Now you scroll down, select power mode, and then turn on low power mode. Right here. That's it. And this last travel one's really simple. But did you know that if you send a message to someone with your flight number in it, all they have to do is click it? It'll pop up and show them all the information about your flight, including your departure time, your gate information. It'll show them if there's delays, and it'll even give them a live flight map. Very cool. Now this last one, really quick, I think it's a useful feature, but regardless, it's very cool. I talked about the Measure and the Level app in my last features video, which is basically how you can use your phone as a level or a tape measure. Definitely useful. But if you're still in that Measure app and you point your phone's camera at someone, it will almost immediately tell you how tall they are. Now this does require phones that have LiDAR, which is typically the Pro models, but it works really well and it's really quick. We're ripping through them here, but here's another one. Have you ever been on a website and there's no app for this website and you wish you could just kind of save a link to this website right on your desktop? You can actually save it directly on your home screen and it works just like a regular app. Here's how you do it. So say you're on the website you want to save to your home screen. All you have to do is hit these three dots right here, then hit share up at the top, then scroll down just a bit and click add to home screen. You have the opportunity here to rename it. Whatever you put here will be what it's called on your home screen. Then you just hit add. And there it is. Now it's on your home screen. When you click that, it'll go straight to the website. Did you know that your phone can identify things in photos like landmarks, food, different types of plants, even dogs? Here's how this works. When you open your camera roll, if you see this little symbol at the bottom, either it looks like a map pin or a little star around the eye for information, it means that it recognizes what's in the photo and it can give you more information. For example, on this photo here, if I tap on that little button down at the bottom, it says landmark. If I click look up landmark, it tells me this is the Biltmore House in Asheville, shows me map on how to get there and other similar pictures like this. If I do this with this photo of blueberries, if I click look up food here, it gives me ideas on what to do with these blueberries, recipes, and then other images that are similar to that image. And like I said, it works on plants too. In this case, a plum tree. And of course, I have to put a photo of one of my dogs in here, but right away it notices this is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi. Anyway, it's a useful feature in the Photos app, and you don't have to do anything to turn it on. It just works. All right, there you go. Another collection of iPhone features that I think are practical, useful, worth your time, and don't require you to go deep into the iPhone settings to make them work. Next week, my video is going to be all about the brand new MacBook Neo. If you're not familiar, that is the $500 laptop that Apple just came out with. It's $500 for students. It's $600 for everyone else. Unbelievably inexpensive. And a quick teaser here, this thing's really impressive so far for the price. More on that next week after I've had some time to really put it through its paces and see if it might be the right MacBook for you. Thank you all so much for the continued views, comments, and support on the channel. I love reading all of your comments. I read every single one of them. So if you have thoughts or questions regarding these iPhone features or anything else, please share them below in the comments section. I really do appreciate it. And if this video really did help you, again, consider giving it a like or subscribe to my channel for more practical tech advice and how-tos. I'll see you next time.